take my hearing aid out. I got getting RF and one hearing aid here. Or at least I think that's what it is. It's popped in my ear twice here while we've been talking. Yeah, we've been lucky. We haven't hardly, spent anything on her other than to get her spayed when she was young. So I hate to see her lose her front teeth, but I told Kim, I said, she'll just look like the neighbor kid when he was 5, she'll just have a little gap in front.
Yeah, and no more, I would assume no more of those chewed toys or bones or whatever, and maybe some soft food.
She said she didn't think it bothered her eating it at all. And she, being a small breed, her dog food we buy what they call small bites for her for that reason, because she is such a small breed. And she's the same food Chihuahuas eat. We buy good food for her. I mean, we buy Science Diet, but it's not very large pieces. But yeah, I imagine that'll be about it for the chew bones. She probably won't have any desire to chew on them whatsoever.
Yeah, I'd hate to, have her get hurt or whatever and lose another tooth or two. That's, I'm sure that wouldn't be painless or very fun for anybody. You're peaking here in that last transmission, a little over 20 over here, Steve. So you're doing very well. Sound good.
You as well, about 20 over. Yeah, it's right at key up. Maybe I'm hearing my push-to-talk switch here in my hearing aids, but yeah, it's right at push-to-talk. I don't use Vox down here, and that seems to be when I'm hearing it, so I don't know. Yeah, you're running 20 to 30 over, and the audio is just beautiful tonight.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have expected that at all, because, just right at 100 watts here, and the dipole, so... a report here on this end as of right now. There's actually no relay clicking going on either.
Well, what do you think? Oh, I was going to say I'm only running odd. I'm running right at 3. I'm nudging 310 here is all. I've got the radio set on 5 watts, but I do have the amp on. But it's just kind of floating really. What do you attribute it to then?
Well, the only thing that, in fact, you're going up 25, almost 30 over here, that last transmission a few times. The only thing I can remember of really doing was that I bypassed the old L4B.
Did you take the radio down and put it on your desk and work on it? Unhook things, work on it, and then put it back on up on the shelf?
Yeah. I think I mentioned it when we talked yesterday, I think. I disconnected everything and put it on the bench, took the covers off, and kind of things over and. Wipe it down a little bit inside, like I say, it looks like brand new inside, but kind of visually looked at it, wiggled a few things, and thought, well, everything looks good here. I wanted to check that the jack on for the external speaker, like I mentioned, and for the relays in there on the auto tune section. And those are all like sealed up and hard to get through, and I almost had to dissect the whole thing to try and get to that kind of stuff, and I thought, no, I'm not going to mess with that. So then I put it back and decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and completely bypass the L4B since I'm not using it, so that's what I did. I've never noticed that on any of the other bands that I've operated on, so, and didn't hear it before. It's just fairly recently, so, I don't know, Steve, everything was tight, clean, and you know, there's no cords strained or anything like that, any connections. Everything seemed to check and look good, so not sure. KA0SF, AC9PR.
From AC9PR, KA0SF. Well, you just answered the one question, because what I was in my mind thinking was, you know, any chance it was the ground strap, maybe it worked loose or anything. I don't know why it would. You're not back there that much, but I know sometimes a loose ground will make tuners act up.
Yeah. Well, you know, I put that copper flashing, you know, on the shelves and the bench and everything, or the shelving, and completely redid the grounding, all the straps and everything. So yeah, that's I figured that wasn't the issue, because I've operated 40, you know, numerous times after since then, and never had a problem with it. So I don't know. May never find out, and don't want to press my luck. So maybe I'll change subjects.
I understand. Well, you heard what happened here a few months ago, didn't you? When I seen all of a sudden I had light someplace I wasn't sure what was going on.
Light. I think you told me about it. Briefly mention that again, because I remember you telling me about light.
Well, I had loaded up and was getting ready to chase DX station, and I had things wound pretty tight, and I checked the tuner, had it lined up, went to the amplifier, and I run about as much watts as I ever run on chasing DX, you know, which is maybe a kilowatt, and all of a sudden I seen a light behind the tuner. And I thought, what in the dickens is that? And I unkeyed, and it still stayed lit. And I got up off my seat and looked behind the tuner, and here I had a piece of Columbia Superflex that was, I'd lit the outside sheath on fire.
Oh, no, I don't remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, the only thing I could detect when I looked at it, it looked like the ground solder must have let loose, and it must have been arcing. And, I mean, that's an old... How long has it been since they made Columbia Superflex?
Well, I don't know when they quit making it, but let's see here. As a matter of fact... Sure, yeah, I'm hoping right now. Columbia Superflex, 1180 Superflex, RG58AU type foam is what it says. I've got about a 3-foot jumper and about another one maybe 16 or 18 inches long, sitting right here next to me.
Yeah, is that half inch?
No, it's RG58.
Oh, this was RG8, and that's the only thing I could figure, and I know it's back from my 11-meter days, so I haven't seen Superflex in years, eons. I think they quit making it back in the 70s, but I'd probably have to look on the internet to even find it.
Yeah, I got this stuff. I don't know how many feet, because I've got a number of jumpers that I made up, like what I just got in the drawer next to me. I got that from Electronics, which you remember him. Yeah, he's now he, but yeah, and he pretty much when he and his family first started the business. You know, I stopped in there, and good friends with him and that, and I remember buying some coax and then making these jumpers up. So that's back in the, oh God, the 72 maybe, late 71, 72, about that time frame.
Oh, I can't even tell you where I bought this. I bought this from Stewart there in East Peoria years ago, probably when he still had the shop up at his house on Kirkfoot. Yeah, I just looked up Columbia Superflex on the internet, and I find bowling balls. So evidently there's no reference for Columbia Superflex for wire anymore.
Wow, that's, well, I always thought it was pretty nice stuff. Like I say, I've got a number of jumpers made up, and I've never had a problem with it at all.
Yeah, Tesco makes a Superflex coax, and it looks like it's made by Columbia. So, but it looks like a corrugated, like a hardline. It's 1/4 inch. But yeah, I don't find anything really that mentions Columbia coax anymore. So they must be out of the business, I take it.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably are by now, Steve. Just like a lot of places. Yeah, you mentioned hardline. I actually used to have, I forget how long it was. I'm going to say 75 feet, or maybe, it might have been 125 feet. I think that's what it was. I found what sounded like a pretty good deal. Of course, this is, again, back in the 70s, maybe early to mid-80s time frame. And it was like, I don't know, $1.25 a foot or something like that. And I think I got 125 feet of it. And it was 50 ohm. And it was true hardline, so it was a solid, aluminum sheet on the outside. And it was encased in a very thick black, kind of like coax sheeting. Real nice looking stuff. And the thing of it was, the cost of the connectors for that was like outrageous, I thought at the time. And I still got a 1/2 inch headline or possibly Viliax connector here in stock, but I think I remember taking that out to the Peoria Ham Fest many years ago and selling it. I think I got about what I paid for it. Of course, the price had increased by then. K0SF AC9PR.
From AC9PR, KA0SF. Yeah, I've got, it looks to me, I haven't measured it, but I'd say it looks like about 70 feet that I took from the club here just to get rid of it when we lost our club station. There was about a 70-foot piece there, and it had the ends, and they just wanted it gone because we had to get out of the building. And I hadn't put the tower, hadn't started the tower here, and I told Kim, I said, if nobody else is going to take that, I'm not going to let it get away. So I grabbed it and brought it home, and I figured if nothing else, I might use it for a VHF, UHF antenna going up the tower, because I am going to have to go, let's see, it's 30 foot across my basement, another 10 foot, 12 foot out to the tower, plus up the tower. So that might be, advantageous to have for that. But it's 1/2 inch, and it's the same way. It's aluminum, so on the outer sheet, so you still got to have the special connectors for it. But then I got to looking, well, heck, it's got the connectors already on it, so I don't have to mess with that.
Yeah, well, you might want to make sure you ring it out or whatever. What concerned me was it came in a roll, what I had. It came in a roll probably about, I'm going to say about 40 foot in diameter. And I don't know what the minimum bend radius was of that, for that, but I thought how, I mean, it's thick, it's big, it's stiff, hard to, it's not like coax. You need like pipe or conduit benders or something to bend this darn thing, straighten it out and everything. It's like, what the heck? Why did I get this? So that's part of living and learning, though. See.
Well, and that could be the problem here too, because I come out of my basement. I got to make a 90, and that's only a 4-inch pipe out there, so. That'd be that's going to be a pretty stout bend on it right there. I do have a VNA, so I can put it on the network analyzer and shoot it and see what it is. Just put a resistor across the end of it and check it without any problem.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. When you're going to try to bend it, Steve, you got a kink in it. Good luck.
Oh yeah, if you got it very tight, it ain't. It can cause you problems.
Yeah, and I'm no plumber either.
I hear you. The guy is almost better to put a 90-degree connector on it and be done with it.
Yeah, but that would probably be outside for you, right?
Yeah, but it'd be all shielded.
I mean, that's something you could weatherproof, I would think, pretty easy.
Well, see, right outside my house, there's what they call an LB box. Do you know what an LB box is?
Yeah, for like utilities, like a junction point.
Right. It's a 90-degree elbow, but the cover comes off the outside edge, so you can reach in there to make connections or bends or whatever. And I could just as easily put it. I set this up just like you would a service entrance for the electricity coming into your house.
What, your feed lines for your antennas?
Yeah, it's 4-inch. I think what's on the house, down here they usually use 3-inch unless you have all electric heat. But yeah, it's a regular. I got a regular weatherhead on the top of it. I got the LB box at the bottom, and I got it strapped to the side of the house, all painted black, so it matches the house, which is a very dark charcoal gray, and you don't even notice it out there.
Well, yeah, that kind of reminds me of my single point ground panel encampment.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that picture that Dave sent everyone, texted everyone, that was a illegal capture. That don't count.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, so Dave, what are you doing? Don't do that. Don't do that. Well, he did it anyway, and it's all blurry and it's upside down when he sent it to you. So I hope nobody was able to see and make anything out.
No, it was pretty bad. Yeah, I was going to give the guys a rough time this morning when who was it? Mike said he had his anniversary this week. 27 years. You guys are newlyweds.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, actually, you missed a good schedule this morning, Steve. Well, I started. I think got about a minute or whatever into it, but let's see. There was Red and Richard and Dave, myself, and then we had a guest. As Steve Parks, W4OEP, join us. And that's the guy that Anthony announced in his earlier text that he invited. One of the guys, he invited another one. I think it was an N5 or NE5 something. Anyway,